Here. Here. What's up, chat? Happy Thursday. February 4th, 2021. Got a modest size 5-game slate tonight. Should be pretty easy, simple. Breakdown, kind of keep our eye on everything. We already have a ton of news. I mean, this is going to be a wonky slate. We got the G League Portland Trailblazers as our featured to try and curtain call the Thunder. Thunder kind of stunned some people yesterday, right? At least I got the under. It was way under. It was like 30, 40 points under. I was happy about that. Weird slate last night, right? But we out here. What's up, chat? How we doing? We got Pop the Bang, obligatory. Oh, yeah. You know how we do. That's good. That's good. What's up, solid picks? You should have played more Thunders. Thunder did their thing. If you avoided the Lou Dort injury, that was great. But Ham Diallo, Theo Maledon, he ended up being a great play on FanDuel. But my goodness, was a little bit inflated based on some defensive peripherals. But, hey, I mean, it wasn't like a crazy play pre-flop, and he got there by hook or by crook. Maledon had, check this out, 6 steals and a block. So 7 stocks, and that's 3 points a pop. So 21 fantasy points based on that. Otherwise, he shot 2 for 12 and didn't do much of anything. So 28 on DK, but well over 30 on FanDuel to go and get to there. So shout out to Theo Maledon for stocking his way into a great play on FanDuel. Paul Ikezi, I played 80% Thunder in my lines. Yeah, I figured a lot of Mad Century people would set rules to be minimum 2 or 3 Thunder. Darius Baisley, Maledon, and Ham Diallo were probably my favorite 3. Had a little bit of Lou Dort interest, but I don't think I ended up acting on it, and he got injured, so it was just that was a little bit more luck than anything. What up, K. Johnson? Well, I tell you what, K. Johnson, you got to be careful. You come around this chat after last night with the initial K. Johnson, because Keldon Johnson, he did not want greatness out of me. I'll tell you what, Keldon Johnson was a tier 1 play for me today. 12.5 fantasy points, 21 minutes. No Rudy Gay. Softest matchup of the year. Oh, wow. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. Keldon Johnson better keep his head on his swivel. What up, Josh Redfoot, E-Show? Keldon Johnson cost me 20. Yeah, Kate. So I had Keldon Johnson and Jaylen Brown as like my tier 1 exposure small forward guys, and it was not great. What up, Quan? What up, Marvski? Dang Lazy Mofo. Hey, do you have a Twitter, Dang Lazy Mofo? Reach out to me if you can. Keldon Johnson looking like a future episode for First 40. Oh no. Solid Picks was on that Hill call yesterday. Still came through. Yeah, Buddy Hill did his thing. That game was I played the single game, and I missed the nuts by Jaylen Brown. He got me. But I had lineups on the main slate that had Tristan Thompson and Tristan Thompson and Daniel Tice. Robert Williams snuck in there, but all the all the guys kind of did well. But Jeff Teague, man, we avoid bad chalk, man. Jeff Teague was never a play. 4,700 on DK. But De'Aaron Fox got there. Harrison Barnes continues to get there. High minutes for him. And then Tyrese Halliburton did fine. Got a lot of fantasy juice out of that game. The single game version of this was fun. I played the single game flex on FanDuel. Mr. Shadow Dogs, the Super Bowl squares. Yes, I will likely set up Super Bowl squares over the weekend. Twitter's probably the best way to reach out to me to do that. I don't know. What are we thinking? It's 100 squares. What do we think? We could fill $5 squares? I think we could. So maybe we'll do $5 squares or something like that. And we'll have some fun with it. We ain't related. No. What's up, Russ? Russell Miller in the house. Paul says, no lie, I used the optimizer on DFN and placed well yesterday. I'm not sure what's DFN. Spell it out. I have to check them out. How I missed his sweet, beautiful voice. And we added the face, Russ. Shout out to Russ. I punted Lyles and didn't play Keldon. They both scored 12. That's funny, Pete. That's funny you brought that up because before the slate, I was playing with one of my mid-tier single entries, and I had a 2v2. And it came down to Tristan Thompson and Jeremy Lamb or Seth Curry and Bobby Portis. And I ended up going Seth Curry and Bobby Portis, which, and this is FanDuel, ended up being the better 2v2. But the funny 1v1 there is Seth Curry versus Jeremy Lamb. Seth Curry did not have a single shot attempt in the first half against the Charlotte Hornets. I don't know. I was just thinking, hey, put a chip in a chair as he's in front of his dad, Del Curry. Seth Curry had 0 shot attempts at half, ended with 3 shot attempts, 6 fantasy points in 29 minutes. Oh, my goodness, did that sting. And then we go to the Jeremy Lamb. Jeremy Lamb had 5.5 DK points in 18 minutes. So I got the 2v2 right. And for what it's worth, Bobby Portis dropped 40-plus fantasy points. It was a fantastic play. But, man, was that 1v1 like a stinger. So I feel your pain when it comes to Lyles versus Keldon or whatever. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let me get in the stream chat. I think Raj had indicated that he would be part of the show, but I don't see him yet. But until then, let's actually go reevaluate some of the top scorers from last night. Talk about Domantas Sabonis. The Pacers got smoked. They lost by 20. Sabonis was way too cheap on DraftKings no matter what, and absolutely crushed it. 59 fantasy points in about 3/4 of action anyway. So big love to Domantas Sabonis. Your 2 highest price guys were your 2 highest scoring players. Joel Embiid had 40 at half, finished with just under 60. Was a fine play. I think he was one of my favorite center plays on the slate going against a Hornets front court that was going to be pretty shallow no matter what, and they're already undersized and skilled to face Joel Embiid. So Joel Embiid got there for me. I had plenty of Tatum. I did not really get too many Clippers. Oh, my goodness, the cat's there banging. Bradley Beal, 50-plus. Kevin Huerter with nearly 50. Kevin Huerter seesawed what was a stretch of great games by Trae Young. It came to an end. Just when you think you can trust Trae Young, he turns around and he does what he did last night. It was abysmal. He had, 8 straight games of like 50-plus fantasy points, had 1 game in his last 10 under 45. It's not, for some reason, it's not showing the Hawks side of this. So that was tough. Porzingis dropped 40-plus. It was a normal slate. Gordon Hayward, we like small forwards against the Sixers. Ivica Zubac, I didn't have that one. Big game from him. Darius Bazley was just part of the Troc trifecta. Jakob Poeltl, he was a free square. There wasn't like too many curveballs. I think yesterday, if you unlike me avoided Jaylen Brown and Keldon Johnson and then avoided the chalk traps like Jeff Teague, Ish Smith had 50% ownership on FanDuel. That was wild, wild. But then I played Trae Young, so what do I know? Bobby Portis was good. Yeah, Bobby Portis absolutely crushed it. Seth Curry must have just posed for the picks the whole game, apparently. What up, Rashad? No Dame tonight? Yeah, that Blazers lineup is looking something, right? I'm the Bobby Portis whisperer. Go get it. Does Portland even have 8 bodies? I do believe they do. I believe Fantasy Labs actually tweeted out the active players. Anthony Simons, Gary Trent Jr., Rodney Hood, Robert Covington. They hate us because they ain't us Cantor. Carmelo, Harry Giles, CJ Ellaby, and Kelvin Blevins, Ninja's brother. It's going to get ugly. That should get ugly. What's up, Jonathan Walker? They will double teaming Trey in full court pressing, not letting him bring him the ball up court. That's if you watch that and that's actually what happened. That'd be an interesting. That'll be interesting to see if they do that to Steph Curry, and if it'll work. Anyway, let's bring in everyone's favorite Indian Canadian DFS Skip Bayless. I don't know.
Yo.
How we doing?
Another day, another grind. After past couple days have so many hit and misses, not the best. So
see, what's frustrating to me is the field is handing us leverage by playing horrendous chalk. And I'm just hitting the bad chalk away. Like Eric Pascal, never in my life, never.
I faded him. Yeah, I don't.
And last night, Ish Smith. No, what? No, what? No.
Yeah, at that price it was. I mean, I get it. I don't think it was terrible, but
well, okay, more so Jeff Teague than Ish Smith. But what I'm saying is the field is begging to give us leverage with this bad chalk, and I'm hanging my hat on plays that just not like Keldon Johnson, Jaylen Brown, Trey Young. Those three last night did not want greatness from me.
Trey Young, looking back out, it's like, I mean, I really played that much Trey Young when Bradley Beal was essentially a free safe square. I feel like even if he does it, if Bradley Beal without Westbrook, if he doesn't smash, his floor is just so high.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
So after today, and I did some traps today. Definitely some traps I think there's today that I think I'm going to avoid, and I think the field will be heavy on, and we'll see.
Cody Zeller was another one ahead. So okay,
never understood that.
So I talked about Cody Zeller playing extended minutes. I had him for a crazy amount of minutes, but 30% owned against Joel Embiid, that felt a little fluffy. Like I wasn't even going to be results orientated on that one.
Other centers there. Shout out Thaddeus Young, just keeps coming through every single game.
What are you gonna do? Yeah. Crispy, what is up, Gun? What is Cantor, Simons, and Trent and Anthony going to do with Embiid?
They're going to get blown out and score 60 points in the game, and you can fade all of them, is what I'm thinking.
Hey, don't hate. Enes Kanter 2020 on Joel Embiid Christmas Day. I'll never forget it. I'll probably mention that once a week for the rest of my life because it won me $15K. Hey, chat, how are we doing? Can we get some thumbs up? Let's get some positive vibes going out here, and we'll have some fun, man. 5 games to be laid back, Cadillac Jacks. By the way, if you guys have been looking for reduced pricing and VIP today, maybe I'll leave it up there a couple days, but for at least today, I went ahead and put a discount on the week pass on everything. I took off the All-Star to All-Star break because apparently there's no All-Star break for now. They're just going to keep playing, and then that'll allow them to fix the schedule the way they want to. They're talking about an All-Star game in March or something. So I took that one down. We still got we reduced the year pass, the entire rest of the year, $500. Month pass is at $80, usually $100, so $20 discount on that. $45 on the 2 weeks, $25 on the week, and that's daily access to the spreadsheet, daily 24/7 access to the Discord, and the daily access to the pre-locked voice chat. So go check that out. We'd love to have you plant yourself into our community, man. We're gonna have a good day, Roger. It's gonna be a good, profitable night. You speak it into existence, and it happens. That's just the way it is. Things will never, ever be the same. Hey, Utah Jazz at the Atlanta Hawks. Hawks, night 2 of a back-to-back. Project starting 5 for the Utah Jazz. Mike Conley, Donovan Mitchell, Bojan Bogdanovic, Royce O'Neal, and Rudy Gobert taking on Trey Young, Kevin Huerter, Cam Reddish Jr., John Collins, and Clint Capella. I guess I should have led with the official 3 p.m. tweet from Fantasy Labs. Trey Young questionable. Porzingis is a rest candidate. LeBron, AD, Ben Simmons, Huerter probable, and Eric Pascal questionable. So, Trey Young being questionable is interesting. He's listed as questionable with a right calf contusion. He played under 36 minutes last night. Has missed just 1 game this season due to injury. So we'll see if he can't go. If he can't go, this slate is just wild, ain't it? And then we already know, like, DeAndre Hunter and guys like that are going to be out. So the Atlanta Hawks are already short as it is. And if Trae Young couldn't go, that would probably open up a chance for, like, I don't know, Rajon Rondo to show up and show out at 4-3-3-4. So, but I'm going to assume Trae Young's in since he's only missed one game. We got a 225.5 total. The Utah Jazz, visiting Jazz here, favored by 8.5. That scares me because I do think if Trae's healthy, I like the Hawks to kind of cover that, Utah being on far on the road here. So maybe that deep of a spread might be a little bit concerning, but for the most part, I got to assume Trae's in until he's out. On the Jazz side, Rudy Gobert, pretty cheap on DraftKings, 7,500. He'll be up against the rebound stylings of John Collins and Clint Capella. The Hawks are okay at defensive rebounds. They're elite at offensive rebounds, and we know how the Jazz are rebounding-wise. They're one of the best rebound teams in basketball. So I definitely have my finger on Gobert early on as a solid shot at 40 fantasy points. Don't really have like a warm and fuzzy feel on anyone else specifically in terms of must-play tier 1 type of performance. I do think, you could always chip in a chair at Bogdanovich, and even a Royce O'Neal's had some really outlandish fantasy performances lately. I think in his last game he pushed 40 fantasy points. But for the most part, I feel like Utah Jazz probably start for me in the tier 3 area just because of how short the slate is, and then the Hawks would be heavily contingent on the status of Trae Young. If Trae Young can go, I mean, do we goldfish memory him? He has been 50-plus fantasy points outside of last night pretty consistently. And even last night with that horrible first half, he still got the 41, right? Like, if that first half...
he kind of saved himself a little bit. Like, he just, whatever, play.
So, I'd probably go right back to the well here on Trae Young. It is going to be their third game in 4 nights, so maybe a little bit of fatigue here is baked into that spread. But for the most part, man, I'm willing to go right back to the Trae Young well. There's going to be plenty of value tonight. We talked about some of the outs already. I think a lot of people are going to lean on the Blazers the same way they leaned on the Thunder last night. So there's going to be plenty of salary to go around. And Porzingis, he might sit this one out as well. So maybe even a little bit more perceptual value from the Mavericks. And we do know that Wiseman's out and Kevin Looney's out. So I think a lot of people will look to the front court of the Warriors for a couple of stocking stuffers. Raj, who's poking at you from this game? Who do you feel like you gotta have?
I mean, if Trae Young plays, even at his price, I just think the other guys are probably, I think everyone's gonna play Curry, or we should. Everyone should play Curry over him. Pay up more for Luka. So I think it's a tough click, but Utah, these are 2 fast-paced teams. Should be a running up and down the
Utah is not fast-paced, and Hawks aren't.
The Hawks? Utah isn't fast?
Not at all. What are you talking about? Utah is bottom 6 or 7 in pace, and Atlanta's a little bit above league average, not much.
So just Atlanta's defense is bad, but their pace is relatively average.
I don't even think their defense is... Raj, do you watch basketball? What's going on, buddy?
No, wait, don't tell me the Atlanta Hawks defense is good. Stop.
They're top 10. They're top 10 in basketball in defensive efficiency, and Utah is top 6.
Context in those numbers.
What do you mean context? It's defensive efficiency. It's points per 100 possessions.
Capella really making a difference.
He is. Not only him, but the Hawks in general. They just added to a couple pieces that tighten things up.
Do you cross out this game in the short game slate? Love it. Mitchell at his price 7-8. I think there's some room there, but again, with the other options, this could just be a cross-off game.
I don't think so.
If Trae Young sits, then I think you play John Collins, you play Kevin Huerter, you play those guys. But if he plays, I think I wouldn't mind crossing off this game.
I still think I'd take some shots on Trae Young here, and I do think Rudy Gobert is just going to give me a solid opportunity at a double-double floor. The Atlanta Hawks allow 5.8 blocks per game, so to put that in a little bit of perspective, blocks per game allowed, the Atlanta Hawks are allowing a top 10 amount, and we know Gobert could take advantage of some of that. And points in the paint, they are a little less than thrilling. So I don't mind 7,500 Rudy Gobert. I think it's a super solid price. Chip in a chair for 40+ fantasy points. We have seen some centers get off on Rudy Gobert lately. I don't know if Clint Capella is going to be that type for me, but Mason Plumlee just dropped 40+ fantasy points, and I'm not even going to think about comparing him to Jokic. But earlier this season, we saw some outlandish performances against Gobert as well. But Capella's 9K, so I really need that 50 fantasy point area. I don't trust that to happen here. Give me some Kevin Huerter. I think for the minutes he's going to play, especially on FanDuel at 4,500, I think 25+ fantasy points is a reasonable range of outcomes, and we saw it last night. It's not asinine to project him for a ceiling of high 30s and even 40, because that's what he got yesterday. And then if Trae Young was out, you might even expect a little bit more ball handling responsibilities for him, Cam Reddish, and like I said, Rondo gets introduced into the mix.
Do you want Rondo? Do you really think he plays the minutes
as a core value? I think on DK 3,400 he's gonna fall. I don't know as of now that I project him as a tier 1, because it seems like Trae Young would play, but we'll see. But yeah, he's got to project extremely well at 3,400. We've seen him drop 30 in 15 minutes. So even if he just got like 20, 24 minutes, he could be an extremely efficient fantasy producer. Looking at the Jazz size, I'm not going to X off the Jazz. I know I mentioned Gobert, but there's always on a 5-game slate or less, there's always life in a 5K Jordan Clarkson, no matter what the matchup. But I think on a shorter slate, when I don't have to stress as much to exceed my normal value, right? On a normal night, we're looking 5, 6, 7x. A lot of times on the big slates, we're looking for 8x. I think if Jordan Clarkson was a chip in a chair for 25 to 35 fantasy points today, I'd probably be okay with that. The second unit for the Hawks, guard and wing defense, doesn't really scare me, and a lot of it's going to be against these starters. So I'm there on that. Chat, what are you guys doing with this game before we matriculate on to the next game? E-Show says Mike Conley looks interesting. 7K, 6,600. I'd probably be a little bit more curious at 6,600. I'm not going to go crazy with it, but I'm there. Raj watches Zero Hoops, apparently.
I just think the Atlanta Hawks defense has improved maybe throughout the year. They started off the year really fast in the same Atlanta Hawks, and when Clint Capella got back, it changed up a bit.
Kind of, but also they've had the smaller the sample size, the more that you see that they were playing like the Brooklyn Nets, right?
Yeah.
So like and if you're playing teams that play fast pace, it's gonna look like you're fast pace. But now that we have double-digit games of sample size to really get a broader and more accurate picture of what teams are, then one thing to note here, the Atlanta Hawks do allow 8.3 steals per game, and the Utah Jazz are I think they might be averaging amongst the most steals per game in basketball. So there might be some stock upside there for guys like Mike Conley. He's averaging 1.5 steals per game. Jordan Clarkson also on 1. What else we got here in the live chat? Pete says, I'll cherry pick for this game. 3 and 4 for Atlanta. Utah slow grinded out defensive machine. Gobert block party and maybe Reddish, Herder, and Rondo combo of the 3. I'm with that. What's up, Jonathan Walker? Been out for a while and come back to a new favorite streaming phrase. Chip in a chair. Let's go, baby. Antoine Murphy stacked the Memphis game. Okay with that. K Johnson, bro, what? You just said ATL was trash. Don't be Whoa, I can't say that word. Don't get me. Hold up. What value would you go from Portland? I tell you what, Gino, I'm going to hit that game in just a moment if you be patient with me. Let's go on to the next game. Golden State Warriors at the Dallas Mavericks. Project starting 5 for the Warriors. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, Juan Toscano Anderson, and Draymond Green taking on Luka Doncic, Josh Richardson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Maxi Kleber, and Kristaps Porzingis, maybe. Mavs are on night 2 of a back-to-back. While we have seen Porzingis play a back-to-back this season, we've also seen him not play a back-to-back. And I believe the most recent back-to-back the Mavs had, he did not play. So there's a strong chance that Porzingis sits this one out. We might see Kleber, Dwight Powell, Willie Cauley-Stein, and maybe, just maybe, Boban. And as a NBA Top Shot owner of a Boban Marjanovic rare moment, I would love Boban to just go bananas tonight. So if Porzingis can't go, Luka Doncic obviously increases that much more in usage, not like he needs it. Luka is projecting, I think everywhere is the highest scoring player on this slate, if I go to the player projections tab, yeah, I got Luka number 1 by 8 points over Steph. So no argument against Luka Doncic here. You guys didn't watch this show for me to tell you that, hey, you could play Luka tonight. If Porzingis is unable to go, I definitely think we can fill in some blanks with maybe Josh Richardson. He's put together a string of solid games at this price. Under 5K, can I get 30-plus DKP? I think so. And then Dwight Powell is at 3,100. Bare bones, almost bare bones mint on DraftKings. Could he get me close to 20 fantasy points? I think so. The rest of the Mavs, you just kind of spin the wheel, make a deal. On the Warriors side, Steph Curry, 9-9 and 9-8. He's on one, man. Curry has put together some strong games this season, and I think the Warriors are sneakier than the league is or really the casual fan is giving them credit for. 38 minutes against Boston, shot 7 for 14 on from behind the arc, 21 total shot attempts, and 11 rebounds. Maybe the 11 rebounds ain't there today, but we have seen the Mavericks struggle at rebounding this season, and if Porzingis is going to sit this one out, I can't imagine that gets any better. I mean, we've seen some just incredulous numbers out of centers against them recently. DeAndre Ayton had a pair of 17 rebound games. I know Gobert had like a 20-plus rebound game. So it's not like the Mavericks are rebounding with any type of high skill. 18.5% offensive rebound rate. I mean, that's got to be the lowest in the league, right? No, it's not. Yeah. It's actually not even lower than the Golden State Warriors. It's the 4th lowest in basketball, but Golden State's actually lower. So neither one of these teams are great at rebounding. Golden State, the 4th worst rebounding team, and Dallas is hanging down there. So there's just going to be balls hitting the rim and flying everywhere. Good luck, I guess. If Porzingis can't go, do you love anyone outside of Doncic specifically? Like, do you feel like, all right, I gotta play Tim Hardaway, I gotta play Jay Rich or anything like? Does anyone give you the warm and fuzzies as a tier 2 or greater, or is it still just a dart throw outside of Luka?
I mean, yeah, outside their prices. With their price, I mean, I guess Willie Cauley-Stein, if Porzingis doesn't play, maybe a little more intriguing. Kleber at 36 he's probably going to play the most minutes. I'd play 25 plus for him, maybe 30. Mm-hmm. But 3,600, he becomes a premier value play. DFS would be interesting. Finley Smith, I think he's playing minutes, a bump up without Porzingis. Grab some of those rebounds, maybe a few extra rebounds, get that double-double. Don't hate. But again, nobody would be core. In this game, it's just Luka and Steph Curry show for me. Give me those two guys. I think those two might be the two high scorers of the slate. Wouldn't be shocked. They just kind of go at it tonight.
Right. That's what the projections are at.
Yeah, that makes sense. And people are going to go to Toscano Anderson. At 3,500, I get it. I just don't know if you need to get there today again with other value, but he's a play.
Oh, okay. I put on the on-off court tool on Fantasy Labs. I took off Kristaps Porzingis, put on Luka Doncic, as is 499 minutes of sample size for Luka. He's chilling at a 38.2% usage rate. That's pretty good. Fantasy point per minute. Below him, if we're just looking at fantasy points, Tim Hardaway 1.2. Jay Rich is at a solid 1. I'll take 1 fantasy point per minute if I can get you to 30-plus minutes. DFS is at a 1. Yeah, so I do think there's going to be some auxiliary and supplementary Mavericks players for me. I don't think I'd just write them off. I think you're being really quick to write off entire teams and games on a 5-game slate, Raj.
You can write them off, though. I just literally listed off 4 Dallas guys who are in play and a couple guys on Golden State.
All right, on Golden State, past Steph Curry, Kelly Oubre Jr., 5'3", 5'4". We know the story with Kelly Oubre Jr. He's going to chuck a lot of shots, and he's going to miss most of them. But at 5'3", does he have a chance here to go to 30-plus fantasy points? I definitely think there's a chance, but there's definitely no confidence. I have him at 28 minutes. Maybe we stretch that out just a little bit more. Maybe one of these front court guys gets into a little bit of foul trouble, and he does a little bit better. And then let's have a conversation. The Draymond Green situation last game. 11 rebounds. Now, his minutes shot up to 36. That might have been a season high in minutes played. But when you look at it, there's no James Wiseman. Eric Pascal's questionable. Kevin Looney got hurt. I got Draymond playing the 5. Are rebounds going to be his to lose here? And we've talked about how bad the Mavericks have been at rebounding. Could Draymond be a guy that gets there on less than 5 real points, but 8+ rebounds, a couple of assists here? Is 5K Draymond a play? All things considered,
it's an option. He's definitely an option. Like I said, if you're gonna get that many rebounds, at least get to 10 points. Get some putbacks in there or something for an offensive rebound. But at 5'2", he's a player. I just don't think I'll get to a ton of him. It just seems like his ceiling is really limited with the scoring output.
Man, I'm just saying, if he's got to play some 5 here, rebounds,
more rebounds.
Or a couple of
if you give him more
rebounds,
he's gonna get you 30. That's great. But if you're depending on 12, 13 rebounds.
He still took 7 shot attempts, not elite, but if we're baking him 30+ minutes, I don't know, man. It's not a fun click by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think there's something to be said that I got him projected for the 3rd most minutes on the team. And
36 minutes last game is nice, and he's going to play 35+. You would think he's going to be a point per minute type of guy.
Yeah, I got him right at 30 fantasy points on both sides, right on the nose. So it might not be fun. It might be uncomfortable. Maybe if Pascal's out, it becomes that much more like a tiebreaker his way. Speaking of Pascal, let me see if I can get a accurate update or a recent update on his situation. Golden State. Let me scroll right on by Golden State while I'm talking about it. Chat, what are you guys doing with Draymond while I'm pulling this up? Because that's secure. Like, Juan Toscano-Anderson, we get it. It's a self-explanatory situation. Eric Pascal, right knee soreness, listed as questionable. Golden State is already shorthanded in the front court as injuries suffered by James Wiseman. Kevin Looney have forced Pascal to log some minutes at the center position. If he can't play Wednesday night, Juan Toscano-Anderson's minutes would increase even more than they did in Tuesday's loss to the Celtics. So, I'm in on Toscano-Anderson, 3,500 bare bones, or not bare, is it? Yeah, bare bones. No, 3K is bare bones, man. It's cheap enough that I'll play. If you guys are willing to jam in Eric Pascal, then you should be willing to play Anderson. And I like Draymond's price a little bit more in DK. Let me get caught up on live chat here before you matriculate on to the next one. Wow, you guys had a lot to say about this one, so I will certainly get all you guys some love here. Josh Jennings, Toscano, great value play. We got a lot of run at the 5. Peter Dobish, Oubre, why can't I quit you? Jay Rich's good game came with Porzingis in the lineup, so maybe he plays better with KP in. Boy, was I wrong on Jeremy Lamb yesterday. Hey, I played Seth Curry, so what are you going to do? Brunson would most likely move into the starting lineup, especially with the Warriors not having a true center, just Antoine Murphy. I like that call. We have seen Jalen Brunson play the 2 this season alongside Porzingis, and then you stretch out maybe DFS to the 4 and Maxi Kleber to the 5. Certainly could see that as a potential lineup. But the Mavericks just seem like all these scenarios this season where we've had somebody out. For instance, like when Porzingis has missed some, we've also seen Maxi Kleber miss a bunch. So really don't have a definitive guess right now on what Rick Carlisle's lineup would look like, but I definitely agree with you that the Warriors playing small. We could see Kleber at the 5, DFS at the 4, and then Jay Rich and Jalen Brunson could fill out the wing, and then Tim Hardaway off the bench. Interesting. All right. Mark says I will have exposure to Jay Rich and DFS. E-Show, Toscano is a big man that gets no rebounds. That's why I'm leaving him out. I think he's cheap enough on DraftKings to have some. FanDuel kind of pushed the issue, put him at 5K, and that's usually a range. If I know this guy's going to be chalk and I think he gets under 30 fantasy points, I probably can avoid it and hope that I get a little bit of leverage there. And I have him projected for 21 FanDuel points. So if 5K FanDuel Juan Toscano-Anderson projects 30-40%, I might just sit that one out and hope it doesn't kill me and try and win with raw points elsewhere, Josh Jennings, Dre is broken. We are fed up with him here in the Bay Area. Mark says, what's up with Kerr not playing Pascal? I don't think they like Pascal. Even earlier this season, Eric Pascal was literally starting and ended up, I think he was against the Nets. He started against the Nets, was uber chalk, and then the second half he got benched for Toscano Anderson. I think Eric Pascal just might be Draymond Jr., and it's up to you to decide if that's good or bad. Pascal's dealing with back and knee problems. All right, straight Dre. Peter says, OG old school Draymond game, 10 boards, 10 assists, 8 points. Sign me up. You think a baby triple double is on the horizon? It's possibly. Draymond's a lock. That's a word. The offense runs through Dre and Steph, says Lorenzo. I'm with that. If Gunn says chip in a chair again, I'm going crazy.
Gun's thing. Chip in a chair.
Come on, y'all. Some of y'all don't play poker and it shows. I need okay, we'll start saying puncher's chance, all right? Puncher's chance, chip in a chair. He's got a shot. I don't know. I'm just trying to put a little flavor in it. My bad. I feel like it's Russ Miller's fault for bringing it up. You guys wouldn't even notice it, but Russ brought it up. Boots on the ground here. Yeah. All right. From the Bay, yo, that's cool. Okay, we got some triple single Draymond. Yo, you got a triple single. Charles Barkley up in here. Andrew Wiggins, yay or nay?
Nay.
Okay. All right. Just out of curiosity, what has been the most success against Dallas? It's just power forwards and centers. So the two guys we like the least. Let's move on to the next game. Portland Trailblazers at the Philadelphia 76ers. Project starting five for the Blazers. Anthony Simons, Gary Trent Jr., Rodney. I'm so hood. Robert Covington, revenge game. They hate us because they ain't us. Cantor taking on Ben Simmons. Seth Curry, Danny Green, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Sixers, night two of a back-to-back. We got a 2-2-2 and another 1-2 as our total. 10-point spread in favor of the home team, Philadelphia 76ers. Sixers have been, the most dominant home team, chat? Am I wrong? They still only got one loss at the house. They're going against not Damian Lillard, not CJ McCollum, not Yusuf Nurkic, but these guys. So this is certainly a real-life game where we expect the Blazers to get manhandled. But do these guys just get forced to play minutes anyway? I got 37 minutes on Gary Trent Jr. He's 6'3", 6'2". He's already kind of like an uncomfortable play no matter what. But when you kind of put scoring assumption on some of these guys, Gary Trent might take 25 shots today, no?
Yeah, I mean, Gary Trent, he might, next to Cantor, he might take the second most shots unless Carmelo decides to go.
I think he could take more than Cantor, dude.
I mean, yeah, it's possible. I think all these guys have got to be in play. You know, Gary Trent, Simons, Cantor. I think Carmelo might lead this team in shots. I mean, he's just going to go out there and chuck, right? I mean, no Damian Lillard in Carmelo's head. He might feel like he's the best player on this team right now. So, I mean, I'm going to have some Carmelo, Covington. He's going to be a do-it-all type of guy. I think he's going to get you some rebounds, assists, a peripheral guy. He got 19 real-life points last game. That could be a thing again. Am I worried about a blowout and like the Portland Trailblazers don't score more than 70 points this entire game? Yes, and nobody gets there. I think that's a real possibility.
Yeah.
So like if in the optimal lineup at the end of the night only one Portland guy is in it or zero, I wouldn't be shocked.
I would be a little stunned. Rodney Hood, 3,700.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna. If he gets hot from three, cool. But I mean, is he gonna do anything else?
Man, minutes, like minutes.
Minutes. So I mean, if you're gonna rank them, you go. I guess Cantor would be one. Is Simons two? I mean, he has to be the point guard. Like, no one else can really play make on this team.
Right. So here's chat. You guys play along. My scenario. We expect the Sixers to smack the Blazers. Yes.
Yes.
If the Blazers are down 25-30, is Carmelo on the court? And I don't know that there's a yes or no correct answer. Like, I know they got to play some minutes here, but is Carmelo somebody you're protecting down the stretch in a blowout? And if the answer is no, then maybe the 30 minutes I have projected for him become 20, 25, and we just spray those onto the other guards here. So I think Simons, we just look at for guys that are looking for, to carve out a name for themselves in the league. Simons, Trent, even Rodney Hood to an extent at 3,700. The reason I like Rodney Hood is I like small forwards against the 76ers, man. They've been doing just fine points per minute and just production. You look at the last couple small forwards, and this I can't put Rodney Hood on like the average replacement level of small forward, but I mean the wing has been the spot to attack them. So I just think he's a little too cheap.
What's his upside? I just feel like he's gonna get you. He's gonna shoot 5 for 10, from 3, and that's it. 1 board, 1 assist. It just seems like for his ownership too. There's just other places.
I mean, the ownership is strong, but 3,700. I mean, there's no Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard could represent 40 real points for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
30.
I just think that Gary Trent, Carmelo, Cantor, even Covington might take more of a scoring load than Hood.
So you don't think Hood could have 15 shot attempts, 8 of them from 3? 3,700 on DraftKings. If he's 50% owned and he drops 25, which side of that it's just like everyone's happy, you move forward? Because it's not like there's a ton of 3K players out there on a 5-game slate, right? If he just gets there, like, you're going to argue that PJ Tucker's a better play pre-flop? No.
I still think you necessarily need 3K value today, like with the other value.
I mean,
I'm cool with the 5-6K guys.
I think Rodney Hood on DraftKings is probably a little bit of that Elmer's glue to get you some Curry and Luka, running them at each other. I don't know. I think at 3,700 for minutes and knowing that there's shot volume in one of the better spots to attack Philly. I'll play some.
Cantor you're gonna have.
Cantor is the meditation play. Cantor does have
break the slate or just.
I think at 7K he's just like if he it might be a 35, 38. DK play. I got him at 38 DraftKings points, kind of right there on the.
If he drops less than 50 DK, I'd be disappointed in him today.
If he drops less than what? 50.
I'd be disappointed. I just think with no McCollum, no Lillard, if this game stays close,
fam,
think Cantor
did you just say 50? I
feel
like I heard you say
I'd be
50.
disappointed.
That's crazy.
50, 5-0. Ennis Cantor, if he doesn't give me a 50 piece today, I'm disappointed in you. We ain't giving you that citizenship in America.
Okay, well, I don't know if there's many bigger Cantor fans, literally and emotionally, than me. 50? No, come on, dog. All right, let's for curiosity's sake. But Cantor's not he's not taking jump shots, bro. He's like putbacks, tip-ins, and dunks if he can get it. It's still one of the best center defenders in all of basketball, Joel Embiid. So, yes, Cantor's had really good games against Embiid in the past, but you're asking for a lot. But just out of curiosity, let's go take off McCollum, Nurkic, Dame, Dollar, and I guess Derrick Jones Jr. Let's put Cantor on the court for the heck of it. And for usage, let's go. Cantor has a 26% usage rate, 23 minutes of sample size. One fantasy. There's no sample size to even really be discussing. But if I had to pick 2 guys for ceiling, it would be Gary Trent and Enes Kanter. I would not be upset if he got less than 50. I think Cantor's reasonable range of outcome here is around the 30 to 40. But Trent and Cantor as the ceiling guys for me. Maybe Rocco as the veteran. All right, let me help scrap a little bit. Little revenge, sure, back in Philly.
Gary Trent got a few more peripherals. His peripheral game isn't that strong either.
Yeah, but what are you going to do? And then there's Anthony Simons on both sides. So Simons is a point guard, right, on FanDuel? Yeah. We have seen Simons in years past
He does seem more like he's been more of a scoring type of guard.
Maybe 5. So Simon, I think I don't really got to push back on Simon. So give me Simons, Trent, Cantor. I think Hood on DraftKings is fine. We could poo his upside now, but when we're in the crunch trying to make lineups later, and he's just giving us that extra shot at Curry or Doncic or even an Embiid on the other side here, I think it's there. I mean, think about what Embiid did last night in a blowout, right? It still dropped 50 plus. So
I would be surprised if Carmelo outscores Covington and Gary Trent and Simons.
just out of curiosity, there hasn't been any floating rumors that Embiid might sit, right? So Cantor 16, 14, 22, 8. So last time he got over 24 minutes against Joel Embiid, 39 DKP. 30, yeah, I don't know, man. I think I love Cantor as much as the next guy. I think you're a little higher on Cantor than you should be, but I think it's still.
I think I'm higher on Carmelo than you. I think Carmelo is a guy. I think it was last season where there was a game with those three guys around. Carmelo just won you the slate. It was last year, but
I'll have Carmelo. I don't know if I tier him up. I'm worried about maybe he'd be one of the first guys to the bench if it got crazy. But that's just me. Any Sixers that you're gonna play? If we're gonna play this many Blazers tonight,
right. But you gotta play Joel Embiid. Like it's Enes Kanter defense. It's someone we target for the past few years. Now you have Joel Embiid coming off of a huge game last night. I mean, again, this could be a 60-point spot for him.
Ben Simmons is questionable, by the way. I guess I should have brought that one up. Let me pull up the injury report on the Ben Simmons.
He's probable.
Left calf tightness probable. Anybody else here? Joel Embiid down a bit. Yeah, okay. So it looks like everyone's good to go. I swear, if Seth Curry drops 40 today, I'm finding a basket of puppies, concrete, and a lake. No, that just got whoa. What do we got in live chat here before we move on? Looks like somebody got banned. Congratulations. Shake Milton is my number one pick for the bench on Philly, says W. German. I'm with that. If they get Debo punked by Embiid, I see Cantor Melo playing less minutes in a blowout. No Cantor for me, says Andrew Collins. I can understand that. Hood, good value if you want Doncic, Jokic. Jokic's on the board too. Forgot that. Last time Cantor played without a team's best two players, he got 33, 20, 63 DKP. So again, Cantor's won me a lot of money throughout the years. I'm all about some Cantor, but I would have a tapered expectation here. Do the Blazers play tomorrow? There's a lot. Tomorrow's Friday. Trailblazers schedule. They play Saturday, so we're good. Cantor had to get 50 if she's disappointed. Yeah, Raj is. I think Joel Embiid, other than Gobert, Joel Embiid might right now be statistically the best individual center defender, and Rod said he'd be upset if he got less than 50.
I mean, I'm sad. I'd be upset. I'd be disappointed in Cantor. I think it's a spot for him.
Prepare to be disappointed, bro.
It happens. Shout out my dating life. That's all we need.
Mark says, I love Cantor if Embiid sits. So, again, kind of like yesterday where I thought maybe Kawhi or somebody would sit. I don't want to start a rumor, so if you're watching, please understand there's nothing that says this, but maybe we've seen the Sixers kind of go easy on Embiid. It is a back-to-back. Perhaps they decide late that this Blazers team is enough to kind of keep some extra tread on the tire tonight, and if that happens, then yeah, Cantor becomes a better play, and then the rest of the Sixers become a better play, right? The rate at which Embiid is drawing fouls this season is insane. Yeah, Embiid's really, really good.
That is a little bit, yeah. I mean, if Cantor just gets some foul trouble, this game would be over.
So I mean, a lot of Philadelphia players and fans think that Joel Embiid should be MVP right now.
Strong take. What are you doing, Harry Giles? He's been intriguing at 3,100. He was kind of like MVP candidate of the preseason.
So, if Embiid is into drawing fouls, if we baby Carmelo in a blowout, yeah, Harry Giles could get there in the fourth quarter, right? You probably the first three quarters you might not feel great, but in the fourth quarter, if he's closing out the final 16 minutes of the game or something like that, he absolutely could point per minute his way against.
He might have to play even like in the first half, 13, 14 minutes.
Yeah, I got him at 20 fantasy points as it is, and I think if you think about that, I have him for 0.3 less fantasy points than Rodney Hood, and it'll probably be a fraction of the ownership. So I'm with that. I like that. Let's move on to the next game. Houston Rockets at the Memphis Grizzlies. Rockets 9-2 of a back-to-back got stunned by the SGA-less Oklahoma City Thunder. They had Victor Oladipo last night, did not have John Wall. Tonight it looks like we're going to spin that around. Our projected starting five for the Rockets: John Wall, Eric Gordon, Jayshawn Tate, PJ Tucker, and Christian Wood taking on Ja Morant, Dylan Brooks, Kyle. The Andersons got tickets to the game. How'd they get tickets? Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman, 224.5 total, 3.5 point spread in favor of the home team, Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies keep on ending up in blowouts, bro, and it's absolutely killing me.
You know who's why can't I quit you guy? Ja Morant, goddammit.
Why can't I quit you? Ja Morant, chat, 28 minutes against San Antonio, was on his way to be the best player of the slate, blew out the Spurs. All right, back-to-back Spurs, they're not going to get blown out twice. No, they got blown out twice. 133 to 102. 22 minutes for Ja. 31. Again, on his way to being like the best player on the slate. Against Indiana, they go there and they get smacked. 29 minutes, 2 for 10, 22 DKP. He was part of the reason why they got blown out. But now, here we are again in a 3-point spread. They're catching the Rockets night 2 of a back-to-back. Ja Morant, 7.476K. Is he in no man's land in terms of pricing, right? So far, the knee-jerk reaction to the lineup construction is go get your value, go get your Luka, go get your Steph, maybe some Jokic, maybe some Embiid. No one's playing these effing Grizzlies, right? So am I just an idiot to keep going back to Ja Morant and hoping and praying that he's going to get me that 50 bomb at 7.6? It's so stressful right now. Other guys here for the Memphis Grizzlies that have been probably doing better than a lot of people realize. I think Dylan Brooks, Kyle Anderson, both guys that have PPMing or greater. The front court here, I think we talked about it yesterday. The Rockets defensively, ever since trading James Harden, have really taken big strides forward, and they've held a lot of teams to less than 110 points. Even yesterday, that game was like 90-70 or something dumb. But they're not full strength, and other than John Wall, everyone here, night 2 of a back-to-back. So maybe I don't let that shake me too much. It's a 224 total. I guess, first of all, we'll start with John Wall. John Wall rested last night, and it looks like Oladipo would played, and they were going to swap here. So is John Wall at 6,900 too cheap? For minutes, I think we can put him right about 30 minutes at 6,900. He's got
like a somewhat of a minutes limit. They're not fully letting him go yet.
So I also think like there's a correlation between lopsided games there too, though. Like
but even in lopsided games, like he shouldn't be playing 22 minutes. Like even the other guys on the team are playing 28, 29.
All right, so if I told you straight up though, 30 minutes, 31 minutes.
Oh yeah, give me.
You want a shot? Okay. Would you play John Wall on Morant? Wall's $100 more than John Morant on FanDuel. Who would you do in that one? Okay.
1v1. I think Morant. Morant's still one of these games they're not going to blow a team out or they're not going to get blown out, and Morant's going to play his full allotment of minutes, and he's going to get you close to a 50. So give me Morant and John Wall together.
Okay.
Let's put it together. Right. You think this game stays close as long as what's the spread on this game?
3.5. I feel like every Grizzlies game is like tight spread and they just blow out anyway.
So this game stays close, and we get the full allotment of John Wall and John Morant. Secondary pieces. Eric Gordon had a good game. He is not just scoring dependent guy. I mean, he had 22 real life points. Only got you 35 DK. So that's cool.
But I mean, I would take the 35 in a 5-game slate. I was just going to talk about like. John Wall's a facilitator. Eric Gordon could take the most shots on this team. Maybe Christian Wood's down there is another. Maybe Christian Wood takes more shots. I don't know. I think it's close. But Eric Gordon could take 15-plus shot attempts here. A lot of them from behind the arc. He's not going to do much peripheral-wise. But if 30 to 35 is a range of outcome, under 6K on DraftKings and 5.4 on FanDuel, I'd probably take that. I mean, Gary Trent's a little more expensive, and maybe Trent feels like he has more upside because the minutes will be deeper for him. But should I accept that Eric Gordon is a solid play? I think so. And even just like 1v1ing him versus the other shooting guard in this game, Dylan Brooks, He's another guy that can get me right there at 30, but I still think Dylan Brooks isn't always a lock to lead his team in shot attempts. I do think he's going to be up there, but I think Eric Gordon seems like he should lead the team or at least be right there 1A, 1B with like maybe a Wood in shot attempts, maybe even John Wall, but I don't know. Looking at the front court here, Christian Wood 8-9, 8-8 on both sides last night. Was pretty lackluster. 22 minutes played. Only 22 minutes played. Was still a point per minute or better. Do we get a little bit more minutes out of him here? He hasn't played 30 minutes in 3 games straight. A lot of it a result of the scoreboard. I would like his price to go back just a little bit more to feel comfortable, but I do think on a 5-game slate, with no eyes on some of these guys that still have the potential to drop 40, 50s, I think Wood maybe in 150 lineups. I kind of want to keep him on the back burner. And then on the Grizzlies side, I see a lot of hype and discussion there for like Brandon Clark, Gorgie Zhang, guys like that. I have no pushback. We saw Darius Bazley have a super solid night yesterday. I do think Bazley had a different scenario on his team where, maybe he had to step up a little bit more than usual. We don't really have a much different than usual situation for Memphis. I know Jonas Valanciunas is out, but the guy driving the ship is still Ja Morant. So I think Clark is a chip. Clark is a puncher's chance for 30-plus fantasy points, and I'm not really going crazy for Xavier Tillman, but I could see some Gorgie Zhang in the mix. Chat, what are you guys doing with this one before we matriculate on? I also think the Grizzlies, like if you're clicking names like the Anthony Melton or Desmond Bain, like the Grizzlies value guys might look a little stronger than they are because of 3 straight blowouts as well. So put a little context, man. Take some time and go look at that popcorn machine and make sure that you're believing that those minutes are competitive minutes, unless you think this game blows out as well, right? Going to the live chat, Josh Redfoot says, I'm actually thinking of playing Anderson and Zhang for 30 fantasy points. All right. Pete says, my favorite game of the night, John Wall, Wood, Clark. My bad knee loves this game. I'm not leaving the slot machine. I'm with that, Pete. I definitely got to have some Ja for me. I think I'll start Ja as a tier 3 and hoping I'm just not going to miss the next Ja big game. German says, Embiid could get pulled early. No guarantee for value. I agree. Embiid did have 40 at half last night. So if you just come out and get me another 10 fantasy points before you get pulled, I'd be okay with that. K. John says, I'm going to play Concher in one of my lineups. His 6X at 0.1% will help you go to the top of GPP. So this might be a great example of putting some context to minutes, right? So last couple games, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10, 19, 20. So not really like going bananas, but just out of curiosity, let's go look at the Grizzlies and Pacers game from the other night and see where Concher got his run. Well, he got 3, 6. So he got essentially 10 minutes in the fourth quarter when the game was over. And a big. He only did 2 stats in that final run anyway. So I get it, but I don't know that I believe that his minutes are going to be anything extravagant unless you believe that the Grizzlies are just part of another blowout. Paul says Tyus Jones and Melton scare me from playing Morant. Okay. Andrew Collins says I think you can go right back to Eric Gordon. I think so. JX Den 2K. Who should I play at center? Zhang. So Gorgie Zhang's one of those guys that I think he's going to be efficient per minute. And if you trust him to get enough minutes to satisfy what you want at 4-4, he does have a shot at 25 to 35 fantasy points. We've seen him drop 34, 33 in 24, 27 minutes. I do think he's the next man up in terms of this front court, Xavier Tillman and then Zhang. I'm not overly worried about his minutes, but I don't think I would put deep minutes on him. I got him about 20 minutes in a comp game, unless front court gets in foul trouble, which is possible. Especially he might be dancing with Boogie for a little bit too. Eric Gordon, you like Gordon? All right. Wood has bounced back game, and with that, Jeff Bell. Wood has not made value in a while. He also just hasn't played the minutes that we were seeing earlier in the season, and a lot of his super Scion games were, when the team didn't have Depot or Harden was out, something like that. But if you can project this game to stay competitive and you project his minutes to get closer to 30, I think he's a puncher's chance. But I also think his price a little bit elevated, all things considered. No doubt I'm going value center tonight. Most high-priced guys are center. Chronic says none of the Rockets game have been close lately. They haven't, and their defense has stepped up too. Nothing wrong with having some wood. Hey now. If you want to punt center, just go down to favors. What's up, Danny? Let's move on to the next game, which is the last game. So we'll take a pause for the cause and do two things. Why am I not English today? Why am I not talking?
One of those days.
Yeah, I guess so. If you guys would do me a favor, show some love. Hit that thumbs up on this video or thumbs down. Interaction with the video helps me in the algorithm. So even the trolls that are hitting the thumbs down, I appreciate you. It's nothing but love. If you guys want to hang out with me after the party, it's the after party. And after the party, it's the Discord lobby. I don't know. We'll do a pre-lock voice chat up until main slate lock today in the rundfs.com NBA VIP Discord. It looks a little something like this. Reggie Perry has been transferred to the G League. We'll be in this voice chat. So if you guys want to hang out with us up until lock and a little bit after lock, talk some plays, talk some life, talk some stocks, talk some player props, and talk some NBA Top Shot. We'd love to have you in there. Go to rundfs.com, make yourself an account. And we did reduce prices all across the board today. I don't know if it's going to be a today-only thing, but you can get a week pass for $25, 2 weeks, $45, month pass, $80, and the year pass, we dropped it to $500, and that's 24/7 access to the Discord, daily access to the proprietary spreadsheets, NBA, NFL, baseball, NASCAR's around the corner. Kyle from Fantasy Domination is helping with hockey. So a little something for everybody, and it's just a tight-knit community to keep you on your toes. If you have any questions about that, twitter.com/Gundacker. DMs are open. Main event tonight, 10 p.m. tip-off for this game. It's an hour after the Grizzlies game, an hour after the Sixers game. Hopefully this game actually plays and we don't get any craziness because there's no pivots. But the Denver Nuggets at the Los Angeles Lakers. Project starting five for the Nuggets: Jamal Murray, Monte Morris, Will Barton, Paul Millsap, and Nikola Jokic taking on Dennis Schroeder, Kentavious Caldwell Pope, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Marc Gasol. We got 216.5 total, 5-point spread in favor of the home team, Los Angeles Lakers. So I think the questions here are, do we want some of these stud hammers here? Nikola Jokic at 11K on both sides. I think if we put this game as competitive, he's going to be a catalyst in keeping this competitive. We probably need 60-plus fantasy points on a normal day at this price point to really feel like we're getting a bargain. So you got to kind of keep that in mind against a Lakers team that's pretty strong and stout against opposing centers, both in real life and in fantasy. And then Jamal Murray, man. I hate playing Jamal Murray, but I feel like this is the type of game Jamal Murray steps up and shows out, right? It's against the championship winning Lakers. I'm assuming it's a Thursday late game that is probably on TV. So you're putting him under 7K against the Lakers. I just got that feeling in my bad knee about Jamal Murray going fake today. So I'm kind of keeping an eye on him. Will Barton is can I say chip in a chair anymore? Chip in a chair at 5K for 30. Gary Harris is out. So Monte Morris could pick up some minutes here at 39, 4,200. I'm not really ecstatic about that. But he is cheap. Does he outscore Rodney Hood in a 1v1? I feel like almost dead even on my projection. I don't know. It's whatever you guys are feeling there. But I'm thinking Jamal Murray, Rods. I got this feeling Jamal Murray on DraftKings is going to do some magic. What are you thinking?
I think I got a feeling that Jokic might be the highest scorer.
You think so?
It's one of those things where I just feel like he's too good where defense just doesn't matter the way he's been playing. I mean, he's dropping big games. If he plays his full allotment of minutes, upwards of 38, 39 minutes in what should be a close game. Don't think it'll be a high scoring game. I do respect the Lakers defense, but Jokic, man, I mean,
the highest Jokic has scored from a DraftKings fantasy point perspective the last 10 games against the Lakers is 58. There's a 53 and a 51. Everything else is 45 or less. And it's not Jokic is on a different level this year, right? He's playing a lot more consistent. Yeah. But I think we also got to man, some of these matchups where Jokic is going off are either super. He went bananas on Rudy Gobert, like he did that. But some of these matchups are a little soft, and some of these matchups are getting bailed out by overtime. So at 11K, I don't think I'm pushing the issue on unless you just really think he's like this is a statement game. I just don't know that 11K I'm getting a lot of meat on the bone on a reasonable range of outcome here. That's kind of one of the reasons for me to look at Jamal Murray to kind of pick up the slack here. But anyway, continue.
I mean, yeah, I like the Jamal Murray call again. He's just not a consistent guy day to day, but he has 40, 50 point upside. You're talking about a game.
Yeah, I don't even want I tier 3 him at best. Like I never play Murray, but I just feel like every now and then there's a Murray go stupid game, and it could be here. Put him on TV against the champs.
I like that. No, I like the Murray call here. Lakers side, it's LeBron and AD's having, I don't know if it's a little bit of championship rust. He just hasn't been getting it done DFS wise. You know, real life play is fine. I think he's obviously trying to get Schroeder and other guys involved, and you guys kind of deferring. So that's probably the reason why his DFS output is the same. So at 9,700, I'm probably not going to get to any of him. But I think LeBron at 10K get you a triple double here.
I don't think I'm that low on AD either. I get the trepidation. From a fantasy standpoint,
in 20 lines, how much you're gonna have of it? Shit, I mean, look at the other guys you're gonna play on the slate. All the value, all the other guys out.
So Luka.
I'd be shocked if you end up with more than like 10% Davis in 20 lines.
He had 2 rebounds against Atlanta. This seems like such an anomaly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So 20 lines is a little tricky because I'm probably going 50, and I'm probably just going to have batches of lineups tell the story, right? Game stacks or team stacks. A little bit of everyone. But at 9.7, I just feel like that's just a dangerous price. I just can't write that off. But I also it also feels a little crazy that you're more confident in LeBron than AD. But I guess LeBron TV MVP statement game. I guess I could buy into that. So outside of LeBron, AD, the coin flips for sure. Is there any other Lakers that you'll be targeting? Is Schroeder at all make a lineup for you?
No Schroeder for me today. In 20 lines, I'm not getting any Schroeder. Play 150, sure, play some. I'm just not playing any of him. Right. LeBron, 20%er, don't hate it.
Chat, where are you guys at on this game? What are you thinking? I did, out of curiosity, pull up Jamal Murray against the Lakers. I got a 35, 48, 61, 45. No context. That is the playoff series, I believe. All from a stretch in September. So there's really no context. He's playing 40-plus minutes. So if we really put 36 minutes of him here, hoping for a point per minute or something like that. So don't go crazy with the stat muse. I don't know, man. I want to. It would be tier 3 at best, though. I just got this feeling Jamal Murray might at 6-8 on DraftKings make me happy. At 7-8 on FanDuel, I'm probably just going to continue playing my hunch on John Morant staying close without Jonas Valanciunas. It's a 216 total, so it's looking like the lowest total on the slate. I am a sucker for the late night hammer just to have something to keep me going up. But there's nothing that's just giving me the warm and fuzzies. MPJ is even priced up 5.5 and 6.1 on either site. So I think I just have Aaron shots here, tier 3 exposure, and maybe have a little something here and there to keep me climbing. But I don't know that this game's gonna assume a lot of ownership anyway. I do think Jokic is such an interesting thought, but I think I'm off on Jokic here, and I might regret that because I'm a Jokic guy. But 11K. How raw points are raw points, but 11K. What would make me regret not playing 11K Jokic against the Lakers? Like, man, it would have to be wild. It would have to be wild because that's 11K that goes to Luka. Like, does he outscore Luka? Like in a vacuum, Jokic outscored Luka Doncic today, but man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I have any Jokic today, like at all. I might not have one single lineup with Jokic. All right, chat. What are we doing here? What do we got? We got 4. I got 20 minutes where I have to get in the rundfs.com NBA VIP Discord chat, the voice chat. Would love to have some of you guys there. Gun, I feel like you can't play Murray if not also considering Jokic. The Lakers defensively are such. So you're saying the handcuff to Murray and Jokic like that? It's definitely not a fun spot. But if they're gonna scrap, if they're gonna show up here, they might. I just think under 7K on Murray is interesting because that's where John Wall's at, right? It's like just to be contrarian pivot could Murray outscore Wall. I think he could. Obviously, it's probably not the median range outcome. Rudolfo Pastors says, "Hey, Capella and Cantor for Zion and Murray is a good deal for season long." Capella and Cantor for Zion and Murray. I don't know if you're in like a dynasty league, but I probably don't want to deal unless you're getting Zion, because I think Cantor's expendable. Capella, I think, is going to be just a monster, and John Collins has been involved in some trade rumors or something like that. If you're in like a dynasty league and you can hold on to Capella for a couple years, I don't think that's crazy to fill up your rebounds and blocks categories. But Zion could just be like really, really solid as well for the next couple years. Murray is whatever for me for season long. Jokic underperformed versus his idol. I think so. It's DFS, not weekly fantasy. I like Bart. I think he gets underlooked. Will the Thrill. There he goes again. Everybody got 50-point upside with Raj.
I mean, I do got that 70-point upside.
Mark says MPJ will be needed tonight versus the Lakers. So the thing with MPJ is his defense is so bad that Mike Malone would just likely get frustrated once he's getting cooked by LeBron or whatever. That I'd probably like. I get the thought process there. You want his offense, but like Mike Malone has really, really, really been so disappointed with his defense that he'll yank him like he's trashing it up at the Apollo. Murray and Porter also sneaky. Yep. German says Jokic is mostly average versus the Lakers last several, other than one good game, nothing special. So now that I looked at Jamal Murray's and put like context that it's the playoff series, I mean Jokic, those would be playoff series, and those are going to be minute counts that he's not likely going to see here, right? 36, 37, 39 minutes. So I don't know. I just feel like if he has a 50-60, that's absolutely what you need at 11K. And is there... I just can't see a world where 11K Jokic breaks the slate. I guess 70 raw points is 70 raw points, but man, this is the best defense in basketball. I don't know. The Guff says Harold, Ben Snapping. What's up, Ben Snapping? How you doing? 80 is too much for Jokic. Yeah, same. Wood over Jokic quite easily tonight. Yeah. Mark K, Rondo, Milton, Simmons if the stars are all out. Shake Milton and Simmons. Like Ben Simmons and Shake Milton, I feel like I would want Milton if Simmons was out, but it sounds like Simmons is probable, so I don't think. EP, other than Bron, favorite 2 power forwards on FanDuel. Is LeBron a power forward on FanDuel? No, he's a small forward, right? Other than Bron, favorite 2 power forward on FanDuel. Do you mean small forward? Because other than Bron, okay, so. Power forward is a cesspool. I think I'm going to have more Draymond Green than my heart will ever want. Power forward is so bad on FanDuel now that we're looking at it. I think we might have to overpay for 4.5, 5x value here. So even if I take a 25 from 6.4K Brandon Clark, I'll take it, knowing that 30-point upside is there. Draymond's kind of that same thing. I'm kind of privy to Draymond. I would feel even better if Pascal's out, only because the minutes would go up, and he'll get peripherals. He won't get a lot of real points. He'll get peripherals. Rocco might have to play extended minutes. Xavier Tillman is starting at the 5, so you get a center at the power forward spot. If he can stay competitive, he has been well over a point per minute. No reason not to take some shots on him. And that's probably it. Maybe Clayball if we got news that Porzingis is out. 4,100, sure. 32 minutes against the ATL last night. I'd take 24, whatever. James Johnson has gotten run this season, but it was in the absence of a Kleber, of a Porzingis. So I don't know that I'd be looking for him to pick up big minutes here. And then Harry Giles, I think he's a fun tournament play. The list of active players for the Blazers really, really low. And if you project that game to blow out, Harry Giles might close the fourth quarter and be a sneaky point per minute guy that gets you, a 20-point fourth quarter. He has that type of potential. So there's a couple power forwards that I would spit out. I feel like if anyone has the ceiling to outscore Luka tonight, it's Embiid tonight. I agree with that. And maybe Curry. I keep Murray and Zion. What's up, Sergio? Any Jokic Davis matchup history gun? Yeah, we pulled it up. It's not.
Jokic hasn't done too great.
It's not 11K nice at all. I meant small forward. You meant small forward. Okay, that's what I kind of thought. So if you don't have, by the way, look at this cliff. 10.7K for LeBron, and then you're jumping off a cliff to under 8K Tobias. Actually crazy. So I if I'm optimizing tonight, I probably am allowing my optimizer to leave maybe 800 to 1200 on the table and just using like 95% of salary because these cliffs are wide. And with that said, I think I'll double down on that statement where it's okay to overpay for guys that might just get 5x instead of, the normal nights, the 10, 11 game slates where we're looking for sometimes 8x. I think it's okay to overpay in certain spots today. So Kyle Anderson might be one of those guys. If I get 25 to 30 out of him at 6K, I might just take it. 34 and 30 in the 2 games prior to that Pacers blowout. If you guys got that game staying competitive, cool. If he crosses over with Eric Gordon defense a little bit more, I'm okay with taking some of that. Bojan's chipping a chair. Kelly Oubre, 5K. The shot volume should be there. Everything else, no, but the volume is there. He doesn't hit for a good clip. And Toscano Anderson, man, he's a small forward on FanDuel at 5K. He might even, I said earlier, if he got 30 and I was out on it, it's what he needs. But, man, looking at how shallow this pool is, I might have to play Juan Toscano Anderson. This small forward, power forward on FanDuel is not fun at all. So, yeah. Whew. And then Melo's down here at 4.6. 4.6K. You feel like Carmelo has a shot at 20-plus real points without Dame. Maybe he gets a little vintage here. Yeah, I think I'll take 25 and push the issue for 30-plus. These price gaps are wild, dude. You're going to see a lot of Doncic, Curry, and maybe even Embiid on just out of curiosity. Let's put Doncic and Curry and Embiid in a lineup. Still leaving me 47. I think
Doncic, Curry, and Cantor.
Probably. Ooh, it's ugly. It's ugly out here. Simmons, Anthony Simons. Okay, that's what Portland's fighting injury now. Made a good play. Or did you mean injured? Simmons? No, I think he means Simmons. Okay. You can get real great lineups. Hand building, says Mark. Yeah. Remember when you couldn't trust Embiid to get you there, and now he's the lock button? Man, he's so good. Feel our pain on FanDuel. FanDuel is tough tonight for lineup construction. Man, it's tight. It's rough. It's rough out here. You almost can't spend all your money if you if you're overweighting some value. Anyway, in about 13 minutes, I'll be in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP voice chat. Tomorrow's schedule is going to be a big Friday slate. We'll be live at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. Looking ahead, Pelicans, Pacers, Bulls, Magic, Bucks at the Cavs. Yikes. Raps, Nets, T-Wolves at the Thunder. Holy. Wizards at the Heat. Double down there. Bradley Beal should have Westbrook for that one. Jazz, night 2 of a back-to-back against the Charlotte Hornets. Pistons and the Suns. Celtics, Clippers. So a medium, modest slate. And then it looks like Saturday we got some all-day action. A noon game, a 4 p.m. game, and then Super Bowl Sunday is going to be all before the big game. So, yeah.
And on FanDuel, just a quick note, John Wall and John Moran, I think, will get no ownership on FanDuel.
I could see that, but it almost like doesn't matter, right? If John Morant got 40 today and Steph Curry got 45, Steph Curry might still be in the winning lineup just because the raw points will get you there, and these other like medium 4 or 5K value plays are just like it's a wild west out here, at least on FanDuel, right? Anyway, twitter.com/Gundeck if you guys want to interact with me a little bit. I'll be in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. We'll have some fun. I will see you guys tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. I appreciate you guys hanging out. On your way out, if you don't mind, hit that thumbs up, and I would appreciate it. Be forever indebted. I hope you crush it tonight. Good luck. God bless, and go win some money.